Welcome back, Hools, to the Daydream Arcade. We're coming back to ye old faithful. We've been here many a time, r/relationship advice. I personally really like this subreddit because we get a lot of interesting takes and interesting situations between couples, family, all that fun stuff.
And it's nice to sit here and just have a nice little discussion about how we feel on it. Not necessarily taking ourselves too seriously all the time, but...
Yeah, no. Remember, guys, you gotta take our advice with a very minuscule grain of salt. Because we're not that
college.
Smart. I didn't go.
Literally, I'm sitting in a room by myself right now, talking to my friend over a camera, and, like, we can't even see each other. Like, it's not that serious.
We're just out here. All right, we got some interesting stories today for you. Did you want to go first, Darryl?
Yes, I shall.
Cool.
All right. So my story, this first one is it's a little lengthy, it's a little girthy, and there is an update to it. So I'm gonna get through this as best as I possibly can for you, Hools. If you guys like the spicy Reddit stories, you can get them on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please go and follow us on there, wherever you listen to your podcasts, and rate us 5 stars. It really helps us out, and we want to spread the chaos that is the Daydream Arcade across the internet.
Woo!
This first post is posted by user ThrowRA Everything. My husband, male 39, has thrown me, female 27, under the bus to his family with his silence and complete lack of a spine. How do I salvage this?
Tea.
My husband Owen and I have been trying for a baby for years with no luck. I would be happy to adopt, but Owen's family is against it and has influenced my husband to also be against it. After our second year of trying, I begged my husband to go with me to get a checkup to see if either of us or both of us is infertile. He was strongly opposed to this as all the men in his family are extremely fertile, but eventually gave in, and it turns out his sperm count is extremely low. Ooh. He was heartbroken, as was I, and we both got therapy. After a year of no longer quote-unquote trying, I got pregnant but lost the baby, and we were devastated. Owen blamed himself and proposed that we start the process of getting into a family planning center for a sperm donor, which I agreed to. He asked me that we not tell each other of our families about this, or our friends, and I agreed because I would never want to emasculate him. With the help of our donor, I was able to successfully become pregnant, and we had our little girl last year. She's healthy and progressing amazingly, and I thank God for her every day. I kept my promise and never told anyone. However, Owen is struggling with connecting with our little girl. Why did I say girl like that?
Little girl.
Here's where the trouble begins. Last month, when he went out of town with his brothers for their friend's bachelor party. While on the trip, Owen told his brothers about our infertility issues and that our baby wasn't biologically his. One of his brothers must have told his wife, who told my husband's mother.
Oof.
Oh, God. I don't know why she would tell my husband's mother, except that she has never liked me. Their mother then came to our house and called me a lying whore and tried to get my husband to leave with her. He just stood there silent. I told her that it was Owen's decision not to tell anyone, and she asked him if this was true. Again, he was silent, which his mother took as me being the liar. She then went to our nursery and started taking everything she'd ever given us for the baby back. I told her I didn't care about it, and I made more than enough to buy everything she gave us myself in better quality. Ding, ding, ding. This set her off. She called my baby a filthy bastard when she said that I did something that I know was harsh, but I believe she deserved it. I physically pushed her out the door. In parentheses, I didn't hit her, but I did put my hands on her shoulders, pushing her out the door, and threw all her shitty things out with her. After spirits had calmed down, I had realized my husband had said nothing when his mother was berating me, calling me a liar, and when she called our child a filthy bastard. So I asked him why he was silent. He said he wasn't raised to be disrespectful. So I asked him why he was silent, and he said he wasn't raised to be disrespectful the way I was, and that his mother hadn't said anything that wasn't true. She was just hurtful with what she said, and that we should let it go and wait for his mother to forgive us.
Oh my God, this guy is a pussy.
What a hole.
Wow.
Wow, what a hole.
I told him that I would never let it go, that his mother and anyone who agreed with her was not welcomed in our home, and that I don't need to be forgiven when I've done nothing wrong. He then said the house was his, and as the head of the family, it was his decision. All right, Roman Reigns.
Oh my
right.
God, dude. This guy needs to be... Oh!
I said, fine, but why did he allow her to call me a liar and a whore? Those things are not true, and our child, not child real, what? Oh, no, sorry, I got it. I said, fine, but why did he allow her to call me a liar and war?
I'm gonna piss myself.
Those things are not true, and our child, no child really, should ever be called a bastard. He just repeated that he would not argue with his mother.
Pussy.
Oh my God. Pussy. Speak up for your woman. That's your wife. After that, I stopped speaking to him and started gathering up my daughter's things and purse and walked out the door with her. He tried to stop me and told me I couldn't take his daughter anywhere without him, and I lost the little bit of composure I had left. I told him she wasn't his daughter. He proved he didn't see her as his daughter when he'd allowed his mother to call her a filthy bastard and told him she wasn't his. He broke down into tears and begged me to come back inside, but at the time, I felt nothing. He looked pathetic to me. So small. I've taken my baby with me, and I've gone back to my parents, and have finally told my family the truth, which feels so good. They're completely in support of my decision and are not allowing my spineless husband anywhere near us, as he still refuses to apologize to me or set the record straight with his family. However, I told his sister-in-law that I was close to the truth, and she told the rest of his family. Half of his family is understanding, while the other side is on his mother's, but they're all mad at my husband. I need time to cool down, but I know eventually my husband and I need to figure our marriage out. One thing for certain, I will not return to his house until he apologizes to me and promises to protect me and his daughter fiercely. I want to see this in action form, starting with him telling his mother what she did was wrong and banning her from coming to see us until she asks for my forgiveness. We were also planning on having more children, as she wants a big family, but that is off the table, as I don't believe he's ready, and we both need to get back into therapy. Queen,
absolutely.
Can I dub her as a queen?
Absolutely, you can.
We got the top comment here. Ask yourself this: do you believe he's capable of changing? Everything he's said and has allowed to be said to you is nothing but disrespectful. To which the OP replies, I'm beginning to conclude that he does not love me enough to change or protect us. That's sad.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up. That he wasn't willing to stand up to mommy and fucking defend your kid and your wife, dude. The fuck? Yeah, you had a donor, but that's still your kid.
It really puts into perspective when you put someone that you really love and care about in a very tough situation that affects you greatly, just seeing what they do. Listen, we don't know what we would do in that situation. Sometimes we think that we're going to do one thing, just beforehand, but sometimes you get in the moment and you just freeze. However, at some point, Owen needed to stand up to his mom, but didn't. And that's so sad. So we have the update here. I want to start by thanking those who were so kind. Your words of encouragement and advice were greatly appreciated. Here's my update. Apparently, after I left my husband's house, my mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and sister-in-law accused me of cheating. I'd already begun speaking with a lawyer after Owen refused to tell the truth to his family, but knowing he let them tell other people I cheated is like getting punched in the chest. I'm now renting a nice 2-bedroom apartment.
Cheating is crazy,
Yeah, that's insane. All of them did it, all of them conspiring together. Oh, God. Just stick the fangs in my neck and just kill me already. I'm now renting a nice 2-bedroom apartment. My siblings and their partners have helped me furnish it, and my top priority is ensuring my baby has everything she needs.
My baby.
What the fuck? I'm not even going to go back anymore.
No,
Currently, we're only on the first paragraph, bitch. God. Currently, I'm working to create a cozy nursery for her and hiring a nanny. Facing the end of my marriage is terrifying, but I'm learning to accept my new reality. When I notified Owen I was going to file for divorce, he started calling and messaging nonstop. His messages would range from begging me to come home, telling me he will tell the truth and get therapy again, begging to see our baby, and then threatening to drag me home. I told him the divorce was happening whether he liked it or not because he failed as a husband and failed even worse as a parent.
Yup.
He then sent photos, yup, with a capital
Yup.
P. He then sent photos and videos of my things in the garbage and him and my brother-in-law trashing the nursery. His exact words, "I don't need it anymore." In the most disturbing video, he threw our baby's car seat in a dumpster.
What?
I do not recognize him or his behavior anymore. He claims to miss his daughter. He claims to miss his daughter and me, but is trying to make his behavior my fault for not doing what I'm told. This is the man I agreed to marry. The man I married was smart, kind, gentle, thoughtful, and funny. But this vileness from him was waiting for me the moment I didn't obey and take the disrespect from his family to save him from the humiliation of his infertility. Before the fallout with his mother, he was nothing like this. It's certainly not an excuse, but I believe it all centered on him feeling emasculated and humiliated by his family. I just can't believe he couldn't at least stand up to his family for me and our baby, the one he said he would die for. I'm not blocking Owen, as my lawyer said to email everything he says to me to him, but the constant threatening messages make me scared to leave my home. Owen knows where I work and has repeatedly told me he will drag us back if that's what it takes, and that I'm making him do this. My lawyer and I are working on a restraining order, but every woman who was attacked by her ex-husband knows restraining orders don't keep you safe. However, things took a turn when my father-in-law showed up on my parents' doorstep, and it's the reason I decided to update. My father-in-law asked to speak with me. My parents told him they would call me and ask, but if I said no, then that was final, and he would not be welcomed back. I only agreed to speak to father-in-law because he told my parents he was there to apologize for his family and set the record straight. My dad called me as my father-in-law was blocked from calling me, and when I picked up, my father-in-law immediately apologized for his wife's behavior. He wanted to hear my side of the story, as he did not believe I cheated. I thanked him. In parentheses, I was never close to the father-in-law, but we've always been civil. And let him know, of course, I did not cheat. I told him of his son's infertility and that Owen proposed we get a donor. I told him very clearly that it was his son's decision, and that because my father-in-law and his family put blood as the only valid form of family, my husband made me lie so our child would be treated equally. After I finished, my father-in-law seemed stunned. He was quiet for a while and then asked if his wife and son could come over and see my daughter in person as they missed us and were ready to be a family again, but I told him no. Father-in-law then asked if there was anything Owen could do to fix the marriage, and again, I told him no. Father-in-law tried to say I was being unfair, but my dad stepped in and said father-in-law was overstaying his welcome. Before I hung up, I told father-in-law that his son was sending me abusive messages daily, and if he was truly sorry, then he would stop. Then I hung up. My parents said my father-in-law was irritated that I did not respectfully say goodbye or give Owen a chance to save his marriage, but left with little fuss after my parents laid into him about raising his swine of a son to threaten his wife and child. Telling his father must have worked because I haven't gotten a single message from Owen since then. I do not want anything from my STBX.
Soon to be ex.
Oh, okay. I do not want anything from my soon-to-be ex. Not child support, not alimony, not the house, or any of his other assets. I just need him to agree to the divorce and give up his parental rights so my little girl can grow up with a family who loves her unconditionally. I have a good degree and a great job. My child and I will be fine without him. Owen's lawyer has made it very clear that they're going to fight us for full custody, and that my soon-to-be ex has significantly more money than me, but my lawyer is confident in our case, and I trust them.
Literally just show the text. Like, like Jesus.
They go through their whole entire defense and would not
and
say
those
that.
videos.
All they have to do is pull up a little monitor on a cart with the screenshots. It's
Like,
here you go, Your Honor. Today, my mother-in-law has been trying to contact me as she wants to be in my daughter's life and is saying she is ready to accept her, quote unquote, as she is. As if my daughter needs to be accepted by her. If it's up to me, their whole family will never see us again.
Yup.
The fucking end, bitches.
That is insane. Fuck the husband and fuck the entire family.
Top comment here by Chaotic Good 790. Follow your lawyer's advice to the letter and do not give up assets in the divorce. That is something you can put aside for your child, especially if you don't want him to have rights to your daughter. Make sure you get compensated for the damaged items and half the assets from your marriage. Yeah, it's so, I can't imagine. I've never experienced breaking up with somebody or, cutting someone out of my life where they have threatened me. I just look back to the original post where, she had said that he'd threatened her, that he would go find her and drag them back if he needs to. And it's like,
that's crazy.
That's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah. That's fucking
saying
horrible.
that he loves the child, this kind of shit, and even worse
it's
shit.
common.
It's all
disgusting.
the fucking time. If you were ever in a relationship with somebody and it goes for a long time, and then you kind of peel back the layers, or so to speak, and you see that person for who they really are. And nobody's perfect. Everybody fights and argues, and and has like their moments, where they don't necessarily get along. But there is a huge difference between having a little tiff every now and then versus always having fights and getting to the point where the abuse is so bad that you try to separate yourself from this person and they go after you.
Yeah, no, I don't get the logic behind that. Like, you have to be some kind of fucked up and evil to go after someone that has very clearly tried to make boundaries or like establish boundaries. And you're like, no, I'm actually going to keep trying.
Well, I hope that OP is doing good. I hope that this is the last time that they ever have to come on Reddit and, talk about this horrible situation. I really feel for them, and I wish their child the best. And I hope that they grow up to be a much better person without the asshole Owen in their life.
Motherfucker.
All right, this next post is by user throwra_oat milk. Do you like oat milk?
I do.
I haven't really had a lot of it. Oat milk gang, call yourself out in the comments if you like oat milk. Are you guys in that gang called the Milk Oats?
The Milk Oats?
My boyfriend thinks my dad's gifts are creepy. Red flag?
Probably.
Every year for Valentine's Day, my dad, 59 male, sends me, 23 female, flowers and a box of chocolate. He has done this every year since I've been old enough to remember. He'd always give them to me when I was little. When I went to college and beyond, he has them delivered to me. It's just a tradition for us. I think it's sweet. I grew up in a really tight-knit, close family. I started dating my boyfriend, Mark, 25 male, a little over a year ago. Last Valentine's Day, I got the usual delivery from my dad. Mark saw and said, "Oh, your dad sent you those? Oh, okay." And that was it. Fast forward to this year, last night, Mark and I were discussing our Valentine's Day plans for this year, like what restaurant we should go to. And he made a passing comment about hoping I don't get any quote-unquote creepy gifts in the mail this year. I was confused and asked him what he meant. And he said, how you got that stuff from your dad last year? It's creepy for a dad to be sending his adult daughter Valentine's Day gifts. I was taken aback because it's not like my dad sent me lingerie or something. It was just flowers and some chocolate. I tried explaining to Mark that this is a tradition I've always shared with my dad. He stands firm that it's creepy and weird. And he said he asked his friends, and they thought it was weird too. What? I tried to let it go, but it's been bothering me. One, I've never heard those kinds of negative comments from Mark before, and I'm not sure whether it's a quote-unquote red flag. I've never been in a serious relationship before, and I'm still figuring it out. Two, when my dad's delivery comes this month, I don't want Mark to feel uncomfortable. Three, is it actually creepy for my dad to be sending this stuff? I've never
No.
found it so, but I would like to hear other perspectives.
That's so odd. That'd be like, oh, that's kind of creepy. You got flowers and chocolate? Oh my God. Are you cheating on me with your dad?
Weird. Your dad's in love with you.
Like, bro, my parents get me whole ass baskets for fucking Valentine's Day. Cause it's just candy.
Cute.
And they're like, I love you. Here you go. It doesn't have to be only for like your fuck partner.
Yeah, it's
a day about love, dude.
It's all about love.
Like, you can love your friends, you can love your family, you can love your pets, you can love literally
capitalism.
Yeah, you know, it literally is just a capitalist holiday. Like, what?
At the end of the day, this is just another holiday to make more people money. And hey, if you're single, we always say it every single year. The chocolate's going to be on sale soon. It's going to be great. Get yourself some Reese's. Get yourself a peanut butter cup and sit there in your sack.
All right, listen. In a relationship, man, we can't all have it good, huh? But yeah, no. Mark is weird, and so are his friends. You need to grow the fuck up.
Like she said, it's not like her dad is sending her stuff from Victoria's Secret. Just candy and flowers, bro.
So odd.
God. Young people these days are so fucking sensitive, man.
So fucking sensitive, man.
All right, now your turn.
Thank you.
Also, would you guys do that for your kid? Let us know in the comments.
I would.
I certainly would.
I absolutely would. I need to feel loved. What the hell?
Yeah. And also, that family, not for adoption. Fuck you. Personally, I was adopted and I turned out just fine.
So my first story is posted by user stunning_serve_2891. My boyfriend, male 21, says he can't get any pleasure from me, female 18, because it's loose.
I can't get no.
I have been dating my boyfriend for almost 4 months now, and we became intimate 1 month ago. Things have been going great, except when he said I am worthless. Oh my God, wait.
Excuse me?
That was crazy. That is crazy. I need to reread that. What the hell? Things have been going great, except when he said I am worthless and lived a slutty life, all because I slept with 3 guys before him. He said he didn't mean those, but it still hurt me deeply, and I cry about it almost every day. Yeah, that's wild.
That's a horrible thing to say to somebody.
Your girlfriend? Like what? Lately,
are you trying to establish a connection with this person?
Lately, he has been saying that I'm too loose for his liking and that he can't get any pleasure from me. Even going as far.
Fuck you,
dude. That's not how it works. Even going as far as saying to do Kegel exercises, which I do as he requested, and getting professional help. I honestly didn't think that I was loose. I am only 18, but I dated 3 guys before my current boyfriend. I lost my virginity at 16 and dated that guy for 10 months. Even though I did sleep with 3 guys before, his body count is 8. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I know it was stupid and it's my fault. Still, I think he doesn't have to shame me every other day for it. He says that he will never forgive me for my past and will punish me forever. I really don't know what to do. Help? What? Queen, I'm gonna need you to exit right on out of that relationship. And
you see that over there? You see the fire exit lit all up in red? Yeah, head towards that sign, please.
How can you berate your girl? And you've slept with 8 people and you're shitting on her for sleeping with 3? Are you joking? Are you joking?
Even if it was switched the other way around and she berated him, it still wouldn't fucking be cool.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't fucking...
You don't... Oh my God. Y'all didn't even know each other.
Also, realistically, I have experience being around younger guys. You know, I mean, I used to go to public school. You know, I know what younger us's talk about. He's calling her quote unquote loose or whatever the fuck.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. And it's also, that's just his way of saying, hey, I think that you're a whore because you slept with more people You slept with other dudes before me. Like,
You had a
that's
life
not
before me.
cool.
That's fucked
Yeah.
up, babe.
You had life experience before me.
Like, what? Huh?
Yeah. Especially when his body count is higher than her. Who the fuck cares?
It's more than double hers. Like, that's insane. That's insane. This guy sucks. And I am praying to the Lord above that you left that, because you do not deserve that, queen.
Is there any update on it?
No, I went to their profile, but nothing.
Shit. You want to save that and maybe we can do an update?
Sure. Yeah, it's only from 4 days ago, so they might.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, this next one. This one's going to be, I think, a little bit spicy, because it's like it's an interesting topic that I will get into. This one's posted by user ThrowRA Sapphic Issues. My 19 female girlfriend, 24 female, has been refusing to talk to me after I slept with my friend, 20 male. What should I do? I met my girlfriend Amber through my sister, since she was a friend of hers, and we've been dating for 2 years. I'm bi and she's a lesbian. 6 months ago, we opened up our relationship since there were just some desires we couldn't fulfill for each other. Amber was the one who first brought it up. And though I was a bit reluctant due to the horror stories I've seen, eventually agreed and discussed the details at great length with a bit of online research. From the few sexual encounters I did have, they were all women. Amber got partners way more quickly than I did, but to be fair, I didn't have people who already expressed interest in the past and were still interested by the time our relationship was open. Our own sex life slowly dwindled, and though I was expecting it from what I've read online, it was still disappointing. Yesterday, I had a few friends over to my apartment to eat some weed brownies I had gotten. About an hour in, 2 of them had went home, which left me and my close friend Luke alone. Eventually went into my bedroom, where we were watching TV and just shooting the shit. Somehow I ended up on the topic of Amber and I's sex life, saying that I really missed her eating me out. Once I said that, Luke offered to eat me out. And in my weed-addled brain, I thought, why not? Our friends aren't off limits. And I agreed to let him do it. You don't need all the details to figure out what happened from the title of this post alone. Shortly after Luke had left and I... Lukey! Shortly after Luke had left and I rid out the rest of my high alone. As I sobered up, I began to feel guilty about what I did and asked Amber to come over. Once Amber had came to my apartment, I immediately told her what happened, since transparency about who we hook up with is one of our rules. Amber was pissed. She started going on a rant about how she couldn't believe that I let a man touch her like that Luke was trying to steal me from her, and that I was going to leave her for Luke or another one of my guy friends. To be clear, there was no rule or agreement that I couldn't have sex with men, and Amber never brought up any worries about Luke or any other man I hung out with. I tried to calm her down, but she wasn't having it, and eventually left my apartment, slamming the door so hard that one of my plants fell over because of it. Now she's been giving me the silent treatment and refusing to answer any of my texts or phone calls. What can I do to reassure her of her worries once she finally talks to me?
Oh my God.
So.
Oh my God.
This is an interesting topic, because I don't mean to be devil's advocate, but I can see both sides of this point of view, you know?
Okay.
I can see both point of views. So the girlfriend who is upset is definitely in the wrong here, because in a way, she's definitely invalidating her girlfriend's sexuality, because she is bisexual, you know? That doesn't mean men are off limits now that you guys are open. If you guys maybe would have discussed that and like had that be one of your rules, then okay, I can see that, you know, OP could be in the wrong. But you can't just be like, hey man, you slept with a man, now you suck, you're awful, oh my God, whatever. You're definitely being biphobic right there. Like that, you can't do that, my man. That's not something that's okay. But I understand why Amber could be upset, because
she does have every right to be upset. But however, I'm sure you're about to get into it. We've talked about this many times.
Yeah. So being in a heterosexual presenting relationship is honestly a million times easier than being in a homosexual relationship. It comes with a lot of adversities being in a gay relationship. And if you were to just be with a man, that would be the quote unquote easier route. So I imagine that Amber could be feeling a little bit insecure about that because she is a lesbian and like doesn't really, I guess, have men in a important view in her life. She doesn't really center her decisions or most of her like anything around men as like most straight women do. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's a tricky subject, but Amber is definitely in the wrong here. But like I can still see why she got upset. Because honestly, to be frank, I've been that shitty lesbian, that have been like, oh, who just felt weird about men. But then I realized it was my problem, It was my insecurity that I had no reason to project onto my partner. And that's just something you have to like really look into yourself about. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, yes, I do. How much do I want to share here?
As much as you're comfortable with, bestie.
I have experience with open relationships. And one of my last relationships was an open relationship. And there was like a whole scenario that kind of hits home for me in this story. And, that's all I'm going to say. But Amber brought up the whole entire idea of going from a monogamous relationship to an open relationship, a polyamorous relationship. The fact that right out of the gate that Amber is that she's the one that brought it up, and OP took that leap of faith to try something new that she had never done before and open the relationship up. And Amber, went out and, met a lot more partners than OP did, it says in here. And their own relationship dwindled because of it. And it just like, I find it incredibly hard to get on Amber's side when this was her whole idea in the first place. She was totally valid in getting upset in that situation because, I mean, it's kind of like hardwired in us as people to, it's the emotion, to feel a little insecure, a little jealous, if you've experienced your partner being intimate with another person, even if the relationship is open, it sometimes, you may think that you in your own mind, in your heart, you might think, yeah, I'll be able to handle that if that were to happen. And sometimes if it does happen, you might react differently because you don't know how you're going to react until you're actually faced with it. And the idea of opening the relationship and then once it's not you, when it wasn't Amber, the one that was going out and, randomly fooling around with somebody, it was OP, and Amber getting upset and jumping to conclusions saying that Luke was going to steal her away from her. It's like, do you hear yourself? Like, I understand that she's getting upset, but you're the one that wanted it open in the first place. There should have been communication. There should have been boundaries put in place at the beginning so that if it came back to this, then you could have had that conversation then and there or whenever, because you've already had those boundaries existing in the first place.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think OP needs to have a very long conversation with Amber and figure out what the root of that was. Because, it seemed like Amber had people kind of waiting around when she opened the relationship and was just kind of immediately fucking people. So that, a little bit sus. Also, the fact that they started dating when Amber was 22 and OP was 17? I don't know how I feel about that. I do think Amber has a lot more issues she needs to address besides being biphobic. And yeah, it just kind of a whole bunch of red flags there. But I did want to say that I can see some point of view in Amber's reasoning for getting kind of upset.
Yeah. I'm not trying to discount her feelings and her emotions, because she is totally valid in having those feelings and just feeling the way that she does.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That is the tea.
That is
sis.
the tea, sister. All right. Well, guys, very much hope you enjoyed this episode of Spicy Reddit Stories, where we did a whole bunch of relationship advice. Also, remember to take our advice with the smallest grain of salt that is possible. We are not relationship experts, nor are we life experts. We
or
just
experts in anything for that
literally
matter.
anything. Expertise is not a thing here in the Daydream Arcade. Give us your thoughts. Let us know how you feel about all of these stories. And if you have any personal situations that kind of relate to something that you want to share, literally write anything you want in the comments.
Keep your thoughts about us though to maybe
be
a
nice
5
to
comment,
us.
maybe a 5 comment minimum, but make them as mean as possible. In all seriousness, thank you guys for watching this. You guys can get all of these episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to rate it and follow the show on TikTok. You can follow me at the Dairy Boy on all social media. And where can they find you?
You can find me at Certicate on literally all social media you can think of.
Bye.
Bye.